Well, here we are, Raptor fans, round 2 of the Eastern Conference semifinals between the Raptors and the Cleveland Cavaliers. The matchup we expected to see, didn't really want to see in round 2, but here we are, the Cleveland Cavaliers getting past the Indiana Pacers in 7 games on Sunday afternoon, 105-101, and I think a lot of Raptor fans have mixed feelings. You're facing LeBron James. Now, we saw what the Raptors can do against this team. Now, we didn't see them do it against the new regime team, I guess. We saw it against the older team with Isaiah Thomas and guys like that. However, both games we lost were on the road, and they were very, very tight games. This Raptor team coming in, I mean, they closed that series against Washington out with 2 very, very good games, low turnover games, and this is a team you cannot turn the ball over against. You've got to take care of the ball. You cannot give these guys second chance opportunities, and you can't get them points off of turnovers. You cannot allow that to happen against a dynamite team like Cleveland is. Now, I don't care if there's no Kyrie Irving. I don't care if they came 4th in the East and we came 1st, so we should beat them. We won in 6, they won in 7. We should. I don't even care. This is the Cleveland Cavaliers in the playoffs. This is LeBron James in the playoffs. We've seen in the first series against Indiana what this guy can do, how he can physically carry a team the entire way. You look at Game 1, all right? Game 1 in Indiana, he had a triple-double. He only had 24 points, but he had a triple-double. Then he had 46 in the victory, and 28 and 12, 32 and 13, 44, 10 and 8, then 22 and 7 on the loss. And then in the do-or-die game of Game 7, he had 45 points, 9 boards, 7 assists, and had 4 steals. And in most of these games, he shot the ball extremely well. You're not going to be able to stop LeBron James. What you got to try and do, and the key word is try, is get him to take jump shots, be all up in his grill, and force him to pass the ball. Now, make other guys beat you. I know Kevin Love's a great shooter, but make him beat you. We've seen Kevin Love go cold at times. Make him beat you. At home, this Raptor team is so good, but they've got to do it. And I know Raptor fans, I know we're excited. I know we're pumped about this team and are pumped about, moving on to the next round. And now you got to face Cleveland, but this is a new look Raptor team in the playoffs. Who knows what can happen? But every Raptor fan saying, "Oh, we're so good at home." Well, yes, we are tied for the best home record in the regular season with the Houston Rockets. That's great, and we took care of home court in the playoffs. So far, we're perfect. That's great. But you're facing LeBron James and the Cavs, and I don't want to bank on having to win all 4 at home. I do not want to do that, which means they'll have to take at least 1 on the road, at the very least. It's not going to be a cakewalk of a series. Playoff LeBron is playoff LeBron. He's almost averaging a triple-double in the playoffs. And when his team is in desperate need of a victory, he goes nuts. And I'm hearing all over Twitter and all over social media in general, the Raptors got no chance. It's going to be the same old against the Cavs. Well, us as Raptor fans, we know this team is different, but they have to make their shots, their key shots, their wide open looks, and play hard defense we saw in that last game in the 4th quarter against the Washington Wizards. We have to see that again, and I'll reiterate it again. The turnovers have to be at a minimal. Now, we all know that everyone's going to be against us. Skip Bayless, he's always against the Raptors. He says the Raptors are going to get swept by the Cavaliers, but who the heck does he know? I mean, he just says a bunch of stuff to get drama started. So that's just Skip Bayless. Whatever. He's something else. I could use some other words, but this is a family program right here. It's a family program. We're not going to be using that kind of stuff, but you guys can put 2 and 2 together. The key for this Raptor team is to work as a well-oiled machine, a well-oiled unit, and have everybody chip in. And I'm going to go through the team here and say what they need to do. Lowry, guys, he's got to be a dog like he was in the last game. DeRozan, Yeah, it can't be taking stupid shots. None of that ISO garbage. You can do it once in a while to switch things up, but not every single time down the floor and in big situations. Don't be doing that kind of stuff. That's going to hurt you. CJ Miles, we talked about it in the first series. Him and Serge Ibaka are going to have to be massive to get this team over the hump. You look at game 1 and 2 of the first round. Ibaka and Miles were perfect. They were great. They were fantastic. And the Raptors won both games. They were nowhere to be found in the next two. They lost both. This team needs the extra guys. We know what Lowry, we know what DeRozan can do, but can OG continue what he did in the first round into the next round against Cleveland? Like we said, can Miles and Ibaka knock down their shots? You know, Freddie VanVleet's going to be back. It's great to have the extra days off for him. Get him back to 100%. DeLon Wright's got to be huge. The bench has to be what we know they can be. Because when LeBron's not on the court, even though he played 48 minutes in the last game, which is a joke, but he did, and that's nuts, you got to try and take advantage of when he is not on the floor. That's all they got to do. And JV, look, he's got to be a monster in the series. We saw back when we met them in the Eastern Conference Finals back in the day. He was crazy. He was great, but then he got injured, and we're like, that's a huge loss. We ended up losing the series. That was that. JV in the playoffs is a double-double machine so far. I think in the 7 games, he had 4 double-doubles? If I'm not mistaken here. He was in double figures for, 5 of the 6 games. And in the one he wasn't, he was 9-9. So JV has to be huge, especially his defensive presence under the basket. We saw in Game 7 there against the Wizards, he was so big. Every time they drove, he was straight up, making every shot tough. They didn't get the calls. They got angry, but hey, it's a clean play, and that's just that. They were doing fantastic. But everybody's got to do their thing in order to beat these guys. Look, and you guys, if you guys have really paid attention to the videos, like, in depth, you guys will remember that I have said, until LeBron James is dethroned in the playoffs, they're still the best team in the East. I love the Raptors. They had the best regular season in franchise history, the best regular season in the Eastern Conference. You know, they got through round 1. That's great. But now you got to face that team that has knocked you out, 2 or 3 years in a row? 2 years in a row. It can't happen again. I know all Raptor fans are thinking this is revenge time. But we got to take it game by game. After game 1, let's not get cocky about it. Let's enjoy it. But let's just take it step by step, because you never know what this Raptor team is going to do. And the Cleveland Cavaliers, they're going to fight every game. Game 1 goes tomorrow. 8 p.m. tip-off at the ACC. It's a primetime game, so that's what you're going to get. Let's break down the rest of the series. Game 2 is going to be on Thursday, 6 p.m. tip-off. And then the next game is Saturday night, 8:30 in Cleveland. Game 4 is in Cleveland at 8:30 as well. We're not going to go to the rest of the games because those are all probable games. We'll get to that when it comes to it. But for the Raptors, like we've been talking about, they all got to work together. You can't just have DeRozan fire up 40 and the next best guy fires up 15 and nobody else is in double digits. It can't happen. This team has to work together. I don't care if nobody hits 30. If I get 2 or 3 guys in, 20s and 3 guys in double figures, the team worked. A lot of guys got hot. That's what this team's got to do. All right, so you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you guys enjoyed this video and you guys are pumped for round 2 of the playoffs against the pesky Cleveland Cavaliers, hit that like button. I do appreciate that. Hit that subscribe button if you guys have not already. There you go. Comment down below what you guys think of the video. What are your guys' expectations for the series? What does this team need to do to get past the Cavs? It's going to be tough. We all know that. But we got to take it game by game, all right? So I'll talk to you guys Thursday podcast edition. Link is in the description for the podcast channel and for the podcast itself on iTunes. Also, Twitter is down in the description, guys. Go follow up down there. And send me a DM, do all that kind of great stuff. And, hey, I'll talk to you guys Blue Jays edition tonight as the Jays start their 8-game road trip in Minneapolis, Minnesota, taking on the Twins. Aaron Sanchez gets the bump in Game 1. And as for the Raptors, Game 1 goes on, tomorrow night. It's going to be a nuts Tuesday night. 8 p.m. tip-off at the Air Canada Center. Raptors, Cavaliers. It's revenge time, Raptor fans. Round 2, Game 1. Here we go. ACC set 8 p.m. We'll talk to you guys then.